Mao Zedong, the revolutionary who transformed China. Mao Zedong is one of the most influential and controversial leaders of the 20th century. As the founding father of the People's Republic of China, he shaped modern China through revolution, radical policies, and political movements. While some see him as a visionary leader who united the country, others argue that his policies led to suffering and economic hardship. Who was Mao Zedong? How did he rise to power? And what is his legacy today? Let's explore the complex story of Mao Zedong, China's most powerful leader of the 20th century. Early life. From a farmer's son to a revolutionary, Mao Zedong was born on December 26, 1893, in Shaoshan, Hunan Province, China. His father was a wealthy farmer, and Mao received a basic education in Confucian classics. However, he was more interested in modern ideas and political theories than traditional teachings. In 1911, while studying in Changsha, Mao became involved in the Xinhai Revolution, which overthrew China's last imperial dynasty, the Qing. This event marked the beginning of his political journey. After completing his education at the First Normal School of Changsha, Mao worked as a library assistant at Peking University in 1919. There, he was exposed to Marxist ideas and became inspired by the success of the Russian Revolution, 1917, by the early 1920s. Mao had joined the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, and was committed to a revolution that would change China forever. The Chinese Civil War and Mao's rise to power. During the 1920s and 1930s, China was in chaos, divided between warlords, the ruling Nationalist Party, Kuomintang, and communist revolutionaries. Mao believed that a successful revolution should be led by peasants rather than just workers. He gained support by organizing rural communities and creating guerrilla warfare strategies. Key events leading to Mao's victory, 1927 to 1937. The first phase of the Chinese Civil War between the Communists and the Nationalists, 1934 to 1935. The Long March. Mao led 80,000 communist soldiers on a 6,000-mile retreat to escape nationalist attacks. Only about 8,000 survived, but this event strengthened Mao's leadership. 1937 and 1945. During World War II, Mao and the Communists temporarily allied with the Nationalists to fight Japanese invaders, 1946 and 1949. After W-26 to 1949, after Civil War resumed, the Communists, using strong guerrilla tactics and peasant support, defeated the Nationalists. On October 1, 1949, Mao declared the founding of the People's Republic of China, PRC, in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. The Nationalists fled to Taiwan, and Mao became China's supreme leader. Mao's leadership, the good, the bad, and the radical. Mao's vision for China was to create a strong socialist state based on Marxist-Leninist ideology. He restructured society, changed the economy, and promoted communism. Early achievements, 1949 to 1957, land reforms. Land was taken from wealthy landlords and given to peasants. Healthcare and education, improved literacy rates, and access to medical care in rural areas. Industry growth. The government took control of major industries to modernize the economy. While these reforms helped many, Mao's later policies became more radical and destructive. The Great Leap Forward, 1958 to 1962, a deadly experiment. In 1958, Mao launched the Great Leap Forward, an economic plan to quickly industrialize China and increase agricultural production. What went wrong? Collectivized farming. Peasants were forced into large government-run farms. However, poor planning and unrealistic goals led to crop failures. Backyard steel production. Millions of people were ordered to melt down metal to produce steel, but much of it was low quality and useless. Famine. Due to food shortages and government policies, an estimated 15 to 45 million people died, making it one of the deadliest famines in history. The Great Leap Forward was a disaster, and Mao's influence weakened temporarily. The Cultural Revolution, 1966 to 1976, a nation in chaos. In 1966, Mao launched the Cultural Revolution to eliminate his political enemies and reinforced communist ideology. Key features of the Cultural Revolution: the Red Guards, groups of young radicals encouraged to attack people accused of being anti-revolutionary. Many teachers, intellectuals, and even Communist Party members were humiliated, imprisoned, or killed. Destruction of cultural heritage. Ancient temples, books, and artworks were destroyed as symbols of old traditions. Political purges. Mao's rivals were removed or executed, and millions were sent to labor camps. The Cultural Revolution paralyzed China's economy, education, and social stability. Even Mao's closest allies later admitted it was a mistake. By 1976, when Mao died, China was deeply divided and economically struggling. Death and aftermath. The end of Mao's era. Mao Zedong died on September 9, 1976, at the age of 82. Shortly after his death, his successor Deng Xiaoping took power and reversed many of Mao's radical policies. China gradually shifted toward market reforms and economic modernization while maintaining Communist Party control. Today, Mao's image remains iconic in China, displayed in Tiananmen Square and on Chinese currency, but his legacy remains deeply debated. The legacy of Mao Zedong. Positive contributions: unified China, ended decades of civil war and foreign occupation, improved literacy and healthcare, increased education rates, and provided medical care to millions. Industrial growth, laid the foundation for China's modern economy. Failures and criticism: the Great Leap Forward led to millions of deaths due to famine. The Cultural Revolution caused political chaos and destruction of traditional culture. Authoritarian rule suppressed free speech and opposition. Mao is respected by some as a revolutionary leader, but also criticized for his policies immense suffering. What can we learn from Mao's story? Mao Zedong's leadership transformed China, turning it into a communist state that still exists today. However, his radical policies also show the dangers of unchecked power, ideological extremism, and political purges. His story is a reminder that leaders must balance vision with practicality and that ideological purity should never come before human lives. Mao's impact on China is undeniable. For better or worse, he shaped the nation's history in a way few leaders ever have. What do you think about Mao's legacy? Was he a visionary leader who modernized China? Or was he a ruler whose policies caused unnecessary suffering? Share your thoughts in the comments, share and subscribe for more history deep dives.